Hi guys, it's starting to feel a lot like Brexit. So here we have another case of people voting against their own interests due to weaponized hatred of another group. So we have to pull out the old "I told you so," as a Trump-supporting farmer tried to put on a brave face during an interview where he was asked what would happen if the soon-to-be president were to go ahead and remove millions of undocumented migrants. The dairy farmer seems to think that the very thing Donald Trump railed against, government bureaucracy, will step in and curb any insanity. Have a listen to this.
South Dakota dairy farmer Greg Mose supports Donald Trump and his pick of his governor, Kristi Noem, to lead the Department of Homeland Security.
Are you worried if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants that you might lose workers? You might not have enough workers.
How are they going to do that? Nobody will be filling the shelves. Nobody will be producing food. Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days?
Yes.
It sounds like you have a lot of faith that they're not going to do what they're saying.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So we have to trust in our officials that are put in place.
You have to trust in the officials. Okay, this is insane. You know, if this guy had come out and said, look, I had voted for Donald Trump, but now I regret it, that's one thing. But he still seems to support Donald Trump, and he seems to support the idea that the federal government will put a curb on Donald Trump's ambitions, will be a bit of a break. Because obviously what Donald Trump and his administration are planning is insane. They're not going to be that insane. They're not going to deport all these foreign workers that I actually rely upon. You know, it begs the question, why did this guy vote for Donald Trump? I've asked this question before when it came to Brexit. Small business owners who rely on selling into the EU, or small business owners who rely on foreign workers, European workers at the time. They voted for Brexit. Why did they do that? Did they not take a step back and say, actually, how would this impact my business? I asked this question when it came to farmers who voted for Brexit, or for the fishing communities that voted for Brexit. You know, Nigel Farage came along and told them everything will be wonderful. The experts came along and said, no, it won't. And who did they listen to? They listened to the charlatan. The same thing again, Donald Trump. But this time around, it's actually worse, because at least Nigel Farage was saying, what I'm going to do will be wonderful. Donald Trump has already told these people we're going to deport significant numbers of undocumented migrants. And the farming industry, the agricultural sector in the US relies heavily on undocumented workers. So why the heck did this guy vote against his own frigging interests? What was he thinking? Is it like the DUP? Our hatred of one thing overrides our love for our own, you know, what we're supposed to love. You know, this guy, was it his hatred of foreigners blinded him? You know, if his business closes down, does he think that Donald Trump will come along and hand him a check and say, here's some compensation for voting for me? No. Well, what is wrong with these people? This guy, I don't know if this farmer relies on undocumented migrants, but at least foreign workers. And he voted to make himself worse off. Once again, I don't understand this. Is it that people like Donald Trump said, I'm going to fix something else, and this guy said, look, you know, I may end up losing workers, but in the long term, it's beneficial in some way? Like, does this guy have some sort of side hustle? Does he have a side business that's going to benefit in some way because Donald Trump's in charge? Honestly, what goes through these people's mind? Do they not think, okay, my business relies on foreign workers. If Donald Trump deports a lot of them, that's going to negatively impact my business. I'm not going to vote for him. But they don't do that. Do they not think at all? The worst part of all of this is he still supports Donald Trump. And he still supports the idea that the federal government will be a brake on Donald Trump. They will stop him from doing the insane things that he's planning to do. Well, he's in for a bit of a shock, I think. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what do you think? As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.